Okay, so I thought that was it, but I'm just gonna do a little quick portion in this video just to show that. So this is the analysis I just ran, and then this is the one that I did, for the first floor, and you can tell that it doesn't redo itself, so that stays as one thing, and then the one for the second floor stays as another. So I can do the same thing here. I can put this into a top view, and I can move the legend so it's in a little bit better of a place. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to rename this second floor solar, and then again just recreate a default 3D view if you wanted to run a solar analysis, or just to have as your 3D working view for modeling. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going back to my solar analysis views. I'm actually gonna turn the section box off. I'm going to do the same for the first floor. Turn that one off. And then you'll notice here in this 3D view, if you ever do a camera 3D view with as a perspective, you'll notice that it'll say just a perspective for its scale. But when you're in a default 3D view, you actually get you can pick from your normal scales. So if you're showing a solar analysis of your floor plan, you can change it to whatever scale that you may want. So what you can do is you can create a sheet for just solar analysis. I'm going to just quickly load in a D-size title block just to have. So now you can just take those 3D views and drag and drop, and click on it, back to the sheet. So now you kind of got quick floor plan views of your, of your analysis. Titles. This is how you can hide the title if you didn't know. So this title that appears, if you don't like it, you can just click on the viewport and hit edit type, and then just say no, and it won't show title. So the title disappears, and then you can create your own title if you want. So now you have, kind of like your floor plans in to start to show stuff. The thing with 3D, with a 3D view, so if I go back to this 3D view, even though, so you can, so when you're in 3D here and you go to your floor plan, you can start to, just add text here if you wanted to. So if you wanted to start labeling maybe what the spaces would be, you can. Unfortunately, you can't do a room tag, so the room tags that you may have had in there, if you did room names by room tag, those won't work. So you'd have to kind of start to use the text tool up here to start labeling spaces if you wanted to show labels. Obviously, if this is something that's kind of within your set of your drawings that you're presenting, they can kind of just compare this to your actual first floor plan and see what the spaces are. So maybe you wouldn't have to start labeling things if you didn't want to. You could also label, if you didn't want to label in the 3D view, you could also just label right on the sheet itself. So you could have your plan, and then you can just kind of just type over it, so say this is lobby, and I'm actually going to move that to to this. So now that's actually separate. So if I move the view, it would move, the text is kind of a separate thing, and it's not all together in one. So that's one thing you'd have to be careful on, where you can pin this viewport so you can't move it. So that way, if you did add text this way, you wouldn't accidentally move this and everything be thrown off a little bit. If you didn't want to do that. So that's kind of just certain how you can start to do the analysis for the sun by floor, and how much solar radiation is going to hit the floor through certain class areas that you may have. And then also it starts to give you an idea of what you can do on the inside to help protect certain spaces that you may not want sun gain in, or solar radiation, certain things like that. And I think that's pretty much it. Obviously, you guys, your floor plans are a lot more developed, and you have a lot more spaces in them. So you'll probably get some better readings, and a lot of you have a lot more glass, so you'll have probably a lot more infiltration through. So you can start to test that and see different things. But hopefully this gave you a pretty good idea of how you can start to do that, and make it easier to visualize and set up plans, and use the section box to actually see the analysis after you're running.